Hello. Welcome everybody back to the channel. Glad you guys are here. We have big news for our sister game, War Thunder. So obviously, we all play enlisted here on this channel for the most part. And we have close ties to the War Thunder community. They, like I said, are our sister game. And they have recently announced that they are adding Infantry to War Thunder. Now, this has been leaked for a while. This was leaked kind of back in April Fool's Day of this year. People kind of speculated about it, but we didn't have any solid information. But they have now recently announced that, hey, they are in fact adding Infantry to the game. And this makes a lot of sense. War Thunder has kind of hit the cap in terms of stuff to add. They don't really have very many, modern things left to add to the game. At least not stuff that isn't just completely faked. Because they don't have the stats, because it's stuff that's in service today. So they are mostly just winging it, and so they've decided to go the route of Infantry. And it makes a lot of sense. Again, they have the framework from Active Matter, they have the framework from Enlisted, so they're going to be going to modern combat. Now, this has a lot of implications for Enlisted that we're going to get through in the latter half of this video. But first, I just kind of wanted to briefly talk about this because without considering the implications of how this affects Enlisted, this is a cool thing, at least for this channel. I definitely will be playing this 100%. I'll be checking out the closed beta here. You can see if you go to this this link here, you can apply for it. I've already done so. So we'll check that out whenever we get into the closed beta, assuming we do. So it's going to be this closed beta testing, and that's kind of neat. So they're saying, you just apply. It's going to be held over several stages. And there's going to be invitations sent out in each, and you get access to all of them if you're in them. So that's cool. We can see some information about how the testing works. The game modes are going to be arcade and realistic. Arcade features markers for soldiers and vehicles and mixed lineups, while realistic has no markers and has specific nation versus nation setups, as well as different respawn rules. Off the bat, that's so cool. I wish Enlisted did this. I'm not going to lie. I really did. I wish Enlisted had an arcade versus realistic thing. I wish that there was something like that. Enlisted does have like hardcore mode, but it's not something you can queue. You have to play in like the custom game. So that's already off the bat really, really neat. I wish they did this for Enlisted. So yeah, so in arcade mode, you can have mixed lineups. Realistic mode, equipment and vehicles depend on the selected nation. Again, that makes sense. That's great. I think a lot of people are probably going to play realistic, but I'm curious how that kind of shakes out. And everything is going to be modern. All weapons and vehicles in the closed beta will be modern equipment. At the start, you'll have access to the USA and Russia / the Soviet Union. And you'll have small arms, engineers, and special weapons as well as combat vehicles. So it kind of sounds like this is really just going to be like War Thunder